Hey everybody, welcome back to Dungeon Maker. So, I had a plan for this episode, and it kind of got messed up. But anyway, suffice to say, I am over here at the Ocean Monument, and I have split it in twain with sand. I've also perfectly surrounded it with these wonderful barriers of particulates, and so far, I have lost what was left of my diamond pickaxe, an enchanted bow, an unenchanted, well actually no, about 2 or 3 unenchanted iron swords, and the better part of 3 sets of iron armor. Mostly because what will occasionally happen is I'll drop into the water and be targeted by about 5 different guardians at once and they'll murder me horrifically. And I'm really interested, case in point, I'm really interested in getting this place finished really soon, because I need to be killing these guys en masse to get the prismarine shards to combine with the ink sacs that they're generating freely anyways, to make the dark prismarine to finish decorating my little, like, janitor's closet of a place. And also it'll give me like a place to get more XP, which will let me start making the equipment. And oh joy, one more thing to go wrong today, it seems. But yeah, to start making the equipment and whatnot, naming items so that they're like recognizably from here, that kind of thing. Get close enough to him and he'll stop shooting me. But this really does take a lot of time. The plan for me is to fill this up and then crisscross it with more sand walls in between so I can start using the sponges that I liberated from here to try and get rid of the water. But as I say, that takes a long time, so my plan was that I have a new terabyte external hard drive arriving today, or I was supposed to get to that in a moment. And with that, I can film for literal hours with Remember Camera in the sky watching me fill this up and clear it out. Hello zombie horses, you have finally lost your riders. One of these days I'll try and tame you. For now, just hang out. And I was also going to get some new lights as well, so that I would have more even spread across my face. So you can't really tell it in the face cam here, but it's very important for like the green screen work on streams and such. And I stood very patiently by the door, and time passed, the delivery slot passed, and then I got a text message saying that they had tried to deliver this package, but nobody was in. And I thought that was complete and total nonsense. Utter rubbish, in fact, because I received it. I received that text not 4 meters from the front door. As is the way of things, I guess. And then, oh great, creepers. I don't need to deal with you guys right now, come on. Fun fact, creepers also give off light in this mod. Down, down, down. Good. Phew. I probably need to mob-proof this area a bit more. So yeah, I need more like dark prismarine to finish off this floor. I do have a floor design that looks a lot better that I'm more comfortable with. And you've figured out a similar way for me to actually try and soften up the inclusion of this nether rack. Let me see if I have any. I should have some. Yep. Okay, so I can get to work on doing that while I'm talking here. But yeah, as if that... Did I seriously lose the glass I made as well? Has that happened? I might well have lost... I've lost most of the glass. I made like a stack of glass, and I must have had it on me when one time the Guardians murdered me. Okay, I need... Blub. There we go. So, yeah, so I get to the text, and I'm already rather irked, suffice to say. But then to schedule another actual, like, attempt to deliver, I have to go onto their website. And on their website, they leave an image telling you exactly where they have left things. So I look it up. Yeah, that looks nice. Need to fix the top and bottom here, but that looks nice. How much more have I left on this? 5. Oh great, just enough to do this. Go not. And gone. Boop, boop, boop. And the image that they have is of our front door. So I know, logically then, that the delivery driver has come up to the front door, done nothing, lightly, shoved the delivery attempt notice into the post box so that it isn't actually pushing through anywhere. It doesn't go through anywhere. It's like a slight gust of wind could have knocked it down the street and I'd have never known. And then taken a picture and wandered off, is what I've seen. So, yay. Thanks for that, dude. Now I have to walk 20 minutes away to a depot tomorrow to get all of my stuff and then carry it. Bearing in mind, this includes a full-scale lighting stand to bring it back here to the Fox Den and actually get to work with all this fun stuff. So consequently, I do not have remotely the hard drive space right now to actually do the big time-lapse I was planning. So, my plans for this episode kind of got destroyed. Let me see if I... And, yeah, you can see, here, I am not doing well in the resource department. I have 2 diamonds. Couldn't make another diamond pick if I wanted to. I do have a spare one over here, but it's for fortune, not clearance. So that's a pain. And let me see. So my plan is that next episode, when I will definitely have that new hard drive so I can record for hours on end, I'll do me time-lapse, and over top of that time-lapse, along with the original, conventional, music and whatnot, I'm going to do a Q&A for this series and whatnot. So, let me know in the comments any kind of questions you would like to ask the Dungeon Maker. And do I need to... No, I don't. Okay. I'm just thinking whether I need to actually have more glass, but I think I'm good for the moment, at least. Okay, just get rid of that. Recess this. Oh. But yeah, that kind of threw me off my groove a bit today. So, what I was going to spend today talking about, assuming I had that time lapse, was how we make the bosses, or the mini-bosses, or whatever kind of bosses we're talking about for the dungeon, because there is a lot. I can tell you from, a whole ton of other things I've been tinkering with, that there is a ton of stuff that you can do using command blocks, and MBT data, and a whole ton of other stuff. But because this is a multiplayer server in which I do not have op, in which I am playing completely in survival mode, I don't have access to any of that, so my options are limited. So, let's think of how hard could we make the last area of the dungeon. How difficult could we possibly make it that it presents an actual meaningful challenge? Can I sleep? Can I sleep at night? Are you telling me it's actually, night? Or it's actually day out there? Yeah, but it's raining, which means nothing will have despawned / burned. Oh yeah, I also need the prismarine shards to get that. And you can't convert prismarine blocks back into prismarine shards. You have to kill guardians, which makes this a huge pain. So yeah. Right, so we know that mobs have various interactions. For example, we could use undead mobs, in which case they will be healed by healing... Well, they'll be healed by damage potions and damaged by healing potions. But we are probably going to be giving our players healing potions, at least semi-regularly. That's something we need to remember. if there are multiple, if like one person manages to actually beat the dungeon, we can no longer use the boss that was at the end of the dungeon because they'll have been destroyed. So, consequently, this boss needs to be something that we can replicate. Which puts us along the list of things we can make spawners out of, minimally. Okay, let's get over here. I don't have plans to fill this in with Dark Prismarine, but I do have plans for there to be a sub-level of this floor that is made out of the Prismarine bricks, is that? Yes, Prismarine bricks. So then I can have some patterns with some Prismarine lanterns, some sea lanterns, and a couple of colours of stained glass, so it gives it some depth. Breaks it up a bit, so just this blanket colour. But for the time being, we have to cope. I think there's like one piece of dark Prismarine left inside of the Ocean Monument right now. And I have many, many, many stacks of Prismarine bricks, so I don't much mind using them excessively around here. But I'd like this place to look a bit nicer soon, so here we go. Just gonna kill time whilst I am doing this. So we can use skeletons who have ranged attacks, and range will probably not come up very often. I will have like a chest full of arrows so that people can grab a stack if they get given a bow in their random loot selection or their random gear selection. But by and large, range is probably not going to come up terribly much. There'll be only a handful of bows compared to like the incidence of swords. There we go. And stick that there just so we don't get mob spawns in here, because that would suck. There we go. So, the problem with skeletons, though, is that they'll continually back up, and if you get them into close range, especially if you have more than one adventurer in the dungeon at a given time, you're going to see them get swarmed, and that's another thing we have to worry about. Do we need to somehow incorporate ads? Do we have to think of how we put minions in the room? And I think we can manage minions by using baby zombies. Because baby zombies are a threat, especially when you have weak gear, especially in numbers, and especially when there's a bunch of other stuff trying to murder you. So, that could work. But that still leaves us the question of what we have as our main enemy. Now, if we're using the baby zombies, it probably makes sense to use some kind of undead so that we can heal them with the same stuff. And also it means that we only need the one spawner, so we can just filter out stuff from there. So I think a zombie makes the most sense. And what I'd really like to do is have lingering potions involved. Now, if you don't know, lingering potions are made with dragon's breath, which you can collect from the ender dragon itself. Do I have any more? Yes, I do. Good. But I actually have no clue whatsoever where the end portal is on this map. And I don't know if the dragon's been beaten already, but I also know that I am not nearly kitted out enough to go and fight it. Like, oh, it's fast, I'm ready. Right. Like, it would just be a bad time Undertale, like, .tm. Oh no, it's still raining. I was just deeper into the desert, there, so I couldn't hear it. Yeah. So, yeah, what we'd do with that is we'd have probably either a randomizer with a timer, and then we'd have that in the ceiling with dispensers, so that every now and then an area would get a splash potion of, I think you can do harming, onto it, which would cause a field effect, an AoE, that would heal any mobs passing through it and brutally hurt any players going through it. Which I think would make for a pretty formidable battle. In which case, we also need to consider the equipment that we're giving our boss. We can easily handle making it more powerful and more dangerous than anything that is in our random gear selection, so that's something. But, yeah, I kind of like this. This looks pretty good already. I haven't even finished it yet. But, yeah, sorry, it's gonna be a slightly short episode. But anyways, get your questions for Dungeon Maker Lying into the comments section, and we'll see what I cook up for next episode. Hopefully we can actually get the Ocean Monument running, and then I can move on to something that does not become mildly labeled as Hubris 2.0. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed. I'll catch you all next time.